A crocodile has taken a future king. The queen watches as her cub vanishes beneath the murk. Her will get revenge. Her sisters follow. No hesitation. Pride against ancient jaws, the savannah meets the river. The crocodile will not forget this price. This is Uganda. East Africa, a land where mist-shrouded rainforests, sun-drenched savannas, and winding rivers carve through deep valleys. Together, they form a stage where every creature plays an irreplaceable role in a drama of survival, millions of years in the making. From the misty peaks of the windy, impenetrable forest, where nearly 500 of the world's last mountain gorillas move silently through the canopy, to the vast plains of Queen Elizabeth. Elephant, buffalo, lion, antelope. Each writes a new chapter in this land's story. Every day, without pause. Uganda is not just a place where nature exists. It is a place where nature tells its own story. In every roar, every wing beat, every footprint pressed into the mud. But to understand that story, one must first understand this. In Uganda, even the peace can be lethal. Welcome to Nature's Moment, where we explore the most profound mysteries of the natural world. And today's story begins beneath the water, where a silent empire reigns. On the placid stretches of the White Nile and the Kazinga Channel, hundreds of pairs of eyes break the surface. This is the territory of the hippopotamus. A creature whose colossal appearance conceals a deadly temperament. An adult hippo weighs an average of 7,000 pounds, more than a small truck. But that seemingly ponderous body hides astonishing agility. On land, a hippo can reach speeds of 19 miles per hour, faster than any human sprinter on the planet. Underwater, it glides almost without a sound, leaving only the faintest ripple on the surface. A phantom in the river, easily mistaken for a floating log. The hippo's jaw opens to nearly 150 degrees, the widest gape of any terrestrial mammal. Tusks, over a foot long, can tear through hardwood with a single bite. But its most fearsome power lies in its territoriality. Each dominant male claims a stretch of river as his own. Any intruder, another hippo, a crocodile, or a human, can become the target of an instantaneous attack. The hippopotamus is responsible for more human fatalities in Africa than any other large animal. Its sluggish appearance is the most perfect camouflage evolution has ever devised. As darkness falls, the hippos leave the river. They climb the banks and lumber onto the grasslands to feed. Each night, a single hippo consumes around 90 pounds of fresh grass. This enormous demand forces them to travel for miles before dawn. Then, as the sun rises, they return to the water, a rhythm that has repeated for millions of years on the rivers of Uganda. Without deviation, without exception. Remarkably, hippos also secrete a viscous red fluid onto their skin, a substance many once mistook for blood sweat. It is, in fact, a natural sunscreen, protecting their sensitive skin from ultraviolet rays and bacteria. Within hippo society, hierarchies are maintained by constant contests between the males. Their roars echo across the water. But beneath this aggression lies a sophisticated system of cooperation. Every individual is protected. The best grazing is shared in an orderly fashion. The young are kept at the center of the pod, encircled by adults. This arrangement is not random. It is a defensive architecture passed down through generations. The hippopotamus proves that true power lies not just in the jaw. It lies in the ability to hold one's territory and hold one's family together. The Nile crocodile is one of the most ancient predators still living on Earth. Its body plan has remained almost unchanged since the age of dinosaurs, when giants still commanded the land. "200 million years, and evolution has yet to find a better design. Thick, armored scales encase a body that can grow up to 15 feet long. Underwater, it is nearly invisible. To lie still is to disappear. It can go for weeks without food between successful hunts. Every calorie is spent at the right moment, for the right purpose. A flawless survival strategy that conserves every drop of energy. When the daylight is too intense, the Nile crocodile hauls itself onto the bank to bask, its mouth agape to release heat, as motionless as a decaying log. But that stillness is the river's greatest lie. But not every predator in Uganda relies on brute force. In the shadows of the savanna woodland, where light filters through in thin, broken shafts, a slender form moves without a sound. The leopard, the most solitary hunter of Africa's big cats. Its coat of golden rosettes blends perfectly with the dappled light of the forest floor. It was born to disappear into the landscape. Unlike lions, which hunt in prides, the leopard employs a different strategy: pure patience. It is an art it has perfected over millions of years of evolution. It can lie motionless on a branch for hours. Its keen eyes scan every thicket below, waiting for the perfect moment. A leopard's night vision is 7 times more powerful than a human's. The darkness is not a barrier, it is an absolute advantage. When the moment comes, the attack is silent. A precisely calculated leap, and the prey is brought down before it can even register the danger. But what is most extraordinary is not how a leopard kills. It is how it protects its prize. With immense muscular strength, it hauls its kill, sometimes heavier than itself, high into the branches of a tree. Where hyenas cannot reach, where lions cannot climb. There, in the Ugandan twilight, the leopard eats alone. Solitary, but invincible. Its menu is astonishingly diverse, from young antelope, monkeys, and birds to reptiles. This dietary flexibility allows the leopard to survive even when primary prey becomes scarce, something a specialist hunter can never do. It marks its territory with scent and claw marks on tree trunks, invisible signals that humans do not see, but which every animal in the forest understands. This area is claimed. Each successful hunt is proof that on the savannah, sophistication can defeat brute strength. But in the open grasslands where there are no trees for cover and every direction is exposed, survival demands an entirely different equation. Here, speed is the only currency that matters. And no animal spends it better than the impala. As the midday sun beats down on the Ugandan plains, herds of impala move through the tall grass with a vigilance that never wavers. Large, dark eyes, set on the sides of the head, give them a field of vision of nearly 360 degrees without turning. Every shadow, every shift in the wind is noted. The impala is not the largest or the strongest animal on the plains. But it possesses a gift few can match, the art of flight on land. When danger strikes, the impala explodes. Its slender body launches from the ground, covering 33 feet in a single bound. It soars 10 feet into the air, then lands and leaps again, as if gravity were a suggestion, not a command. Top speed can reach 55 miles per hour. Combined with its ability to change direction in an instant, the impala turns any chase into a nightmare for a predator. Lions, leopards, African wild dogs all know that pursuing an impala in the open is a gamble the hunter often loses. But individual speed is only half the equation. Impala live in herds, dozens of eyes scanning the horizon, dozens of ears listening to the wind. When one spots a threat, an alarm call ripples through the herd in less than a second. A chain reaction, faster than the predator's stride. They do not rely on sight alone. Primal instinct makes them react to unusual shadows, a strange scent on the breeze, and vibrations in the earth. In the dry season, when the grass is scorched and water is scarce, impala must travel miles in search of fresh pasture and water holes. That endurance, coupled with speed and vigilance, allows them to persist, though they live every day in the crosshairs of every predator on the plains. But if the impala is a master of speed, another Ugandan antelope has chosen the opposite path. Pure power and resilience. The eland, Africa's largest antelope, stands on the plains like a mobile fortress. A mature bull can weigh nearly 2,000 pounds with spiral horns that cut a profile against the sky. Its shadow falls upon the land like a citadel. Where the impala flees, the eland stands its ground. This is its philosophy of survival. Its massive body gives it access to food that smaller species cannot reach. High leaves, tough bark, and dry branches others ignore. Its height allows it to exploit a second tier of the savanna, where food remains plentiful even when the ground has been baked white by the sun. But the eland's most incredible physiological feat is how it contends with the heat. On scorching days, instead of sweating and losing precious water, the eland allows its body temperature to rise by up to 13 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. It stores heat by day, then radiates it away into the cool night air. Scientists call it adaptive hypothermia. This strategy allows the eland to survive with almost no need to drink. It has taken evolution millions of years to perfect this energy-saving machine. Though not a predator, its size and strength make the eland a formidable target. Its powerful legs and sharp, spiraled horns create a daunting defensive barrier. A kick from an eland can break a lion's ribs. The predators know this and often choose an easier meal. Eland move in small family groups, coordinating their defense in this harsh terrain. Their quiet but indomitable presence on the savannah is a testament to an unchanging principle. In nature, the survivor is not always the fastest. Sometimes it is simply the most resilient. Amid the vast grasslands of Murchison Falls, a towering silhouette is etched against the blue sky. The Rothschild's giraffe, the tallest creature in the animal kingdom, stands as a living watchtower, surveying the savannah from a height no other can match. Its neck, many feet long, is more than a tool for feeding. It is the most perfect early warning system on the plains. From its vantage point, a giraffe can spot a lion or leopard from hundreds of yards away, long before they are close enough to launch an attack. Its diet consists mainly of acacia leaves from the high canopy, which no other browsers can reach. This privilege allows the giraffe to avoid direct competition with dozens of other species. What makes the story of the Rothschild's giraffe in Uganda so special lies in a number. Over 1,500 individuals now live in Murchison Falls. They have returned from the brink of extinction thanks to decades of persistent conservation efforts. This is one of Africa's rarest conservation success stories. Proof that when humanity does more than just watch, nature can heal its own wounds. But even in that success, shadows still linger on the horizon. The lion is the only cat that lives and hunts in a social group. The lionesses play the leading roles. They spread out in a pincer formation, moving through the tall grass like golden phantoms. Every step, every position is meticulously calculated. The attack truly begins long before a claw touches hide. But the Cape buffalo are not easily intimidated like zebra or wildebeest. The harsh reality is that lions are successful in only 20 to 30% of their hunts. Most chases end in failure, or even with serious injury and broken bones for the hunters. Researchers believe that climbing into the branches of fig and acacia trees helps them escape biting insects on the ground and catch the cooling breeze above. It is for this reason that, in the Ethiopia sector, the lions have developed a behavior rarely seen anywhere else in the world to recover their energy. They climb trees. The sight of these apex predators lounging on high branches, tails dangling in repose, is a visual spectacle unique to Uganda. Ultimately, lions serve as the guardians of the ecosystem. By controlling the numbers of herbivores, they prevent the grasslands from being overgrazed to the point of collapse. It is one of nature's paradoxes. The ecosystem requires the death dealt by the predator to sustain life for the whole. On this savanna, neither side wins forever. It is this endless contest that keeps the pulse of Queen Elizabeth beating for generations to come. But life on the grasslands is not only about great battles. Many species choose a different path, quieter, but no less intense. As the afternoon light fades over Queen Elizabeth, two species stand out against the twilight canvas, the topee and the zebra. Both survive by a shared principle. The power of the group. The topee, with its glossy, reddish-brown coat and lyre-shaped horns, is one of Africa's fastest antelopes. It can reach speeds of 50 miles per hour when threatened, fast enough to leave most predators behind. But speed is not its primary weapon. Topee organize themselves into small family groups. Adults stand guard on the periphery, while the young are hidden in the center. A sentinel stands on the highest termite mound in its territory, its sharp eyes scanning for any unusual movement all the way to the horizon. When danger is spotted, the topee shifts to top speed. It leads the group into dense thickets, turning the vegetation itself into a shield against pursuit. During the dry season, topee must travel miles to find green pasture. They can go for days without drinking if their food contains enough moisture. This remarkable adaptability has allowed the topee to survive months-long droughts, when less hardy species are forced to move on. Alongside the topee, the zebra writes its story of survival with a visual secret, one that evolution has spent millions of years refining. The black and white stripes that adorn its body are not just for show. They are one of the most sophisticated camouflage systems in the animal kingdom. When a herd of zebra moves together, the stripes merge into a dizzying optical illusion. A predator cannot distinguish one individual from another. The entire herd becomes a single shimmering entity. A moving mosaic against which any attack is likely to fail. Each individual is protected by all. Every step is synchronized with the herd. A zebra herd is led by a dominant stallion. They move, feed, and rest as one, a bond more powerful than any fang. In the dry season, zebra gather in even larger herds for increased protection. Their ability to digest tough, dry grasses gives them an advantage when other food sources have withered away. Both topee and zebra are living proof of one truth. On the African plains, those who cooperate survive. Those who walk alone vanish. But cooperation is not the only strategy. There is one creature that survives on pure intelligence and surprising courage. The common warthog. With its low, compact body and muscles coiled beneath a rough hide, the warthog does not look impressive. But to underestimate it is a grave mistake. The warthog is an expert digger. Its tough, powerful snout cuts through dry earth in seconds, unearthing roots, tubers, and small insects hidden below the surface. In an ecosystem where resources are unevenly distributed, the ability to exploit food from underground is an advantage few other species possess. Though often seen alone, warthogs also form small groups to protect their young. This combination of bravery and strength makes it an opponent that predators prefer to face only out of desperation. But the warthog also knows when to retreat. Given the chance, it will bolt into thick bush, a rocky crevice, or a self-dug burrow, using any feature of the terrain to escape. It lives on the fine line between courage and caution. It is this balance that keeps it alive in one of Africa's most unforgiving landscapes. If you, too, are captivated by these stories of survival, share with Nature's Moment in the comments below. Which Ugandan animal surprised you the most? But of all the creatures that leave their mark on the savannah, there is one whose very presence shapes the entire ecosystem. The African bush elephant, the largest land animal on the planet. Every day, a single adult elephant consumes between 330 and 660 pounds of vegetation, leaves, bark, roots, grasses, and fruit. This enormous appetite makes the elephant the unwitting architect of the savannah. Every tree it pushes over creates an opening for sunlight to break through. New grass grows where the trunk once stood, feeding zebra, impala, and dozens of other species. A chain reaction that begins with a single footstep. Elephant dung disperses seeds across the plains. The digestive process actually increases germination rates. Each dropping is a potential garden in the dry grasslands. In the dry season, when the earth cracks and surface water disappears, elephants use their tusks and trunks to dig deep into the ground for subterranean water. These natural wells save not only the elephants, but the dozens of other species that depend on the water the elephants provide. An elephant herd is led by a matriarch. She passes down to the next generation the knowledge she has accumulated over decades. The location of water holes, safe migration routes, how to react when lions approach. The matriarch's memory is the most valuable asset the herd possesses. It determines who lives, who dies, and where the herd will go when the dry season seems to have no end. But because the elephants are more united than any pride of lions, researchers have observed that elephants can recognize the bones and tusks of their own dead. They will pause, touch them with their trunks, and stand silently beside them. A behavior that science has yet to fully explain. It suggests that elephants do not just live in herds for survival. Perhaps they live together for something deeper than instinct. Elephants do not just live in the ecosystem, they create it. The existence of this one species is a reminder that from the smallest blade of grass to the most colossal beast, everything is connected in a fragile web. The snapping of one thread in that web could cause the entire structure to collapse. And no one knows which thread is the last. Uganda is not an unchanging paradise. Habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict and poaching are daily threats. Many of the species we have just witnessed, the Rothschild's giraffe, the elephant, the leopard, are on the red list of the International Union for Conservation of Nature. But the story of the Rothschild's giraffe, from the verge of disappearing to a thriving population of over 1,500, is proof that when people choose to act, nature responds. That success did not come from a miracle. It came from the rangers who patrol every night, the scientists who count every individual, and the local communities who chose conservation over exploitation. Every species on these plains is a chapter in a book that nature has been writing for millions of years. From the crocodile lying motionless in the water to the elephant that silently moves a forest. Uganda is where that book is still being written. Page by page, day by day. And beneath the tranquil surface of this land, life has never stopped moving. Thank you for joining us on Nature's Moment. The natural world has countless more stories waiting to be told. If you haven't already subscribed, now is the perfect time. We'll see you on the next journey. In Tsavo, a sun-scorched land, the crown is not forged from gold or diamonds. It is woven from fear, and its ultimate symbol is a thing of vanity, the magnificent mane. The mane is armor in battle, a defiant declaration of a king's authority. But here, in the searing heat of Eastern Africa, a thick mane becomes a death sentence. It causes the body to overheat, a fatal flaw in the relentless war of survival. And so the kings of Tsavo wear a different aspect. They are almost bareheaded kings without a throne. Yet, the paradoxes of nature are without end. Into this kingdom of bold warriors, a new power has risen. They are a minority, but they carry the bloodline of rulers with high levels of testosterone and an enviable immune system. A war for the throne is inevitable. The native king recognizes his disadvantage. No blood is shed, yet the contempt is palpable. From this moment, The balance of power in Tsavo has shifted. The maneless shadows recede into darkness. A dynasty of new tyrants has officially begun. A message is sent across the savannah. The new king has arrived. All must be ready. But power is not built on muscle alone. An empire must be fed. That is the duty of the lionesses, the tireless hunters of the pride. The males, meanwhile, are charged with defending the territory and guarding the young. To consolidate a fledgling empire, the first hunts need not be the most sanguinary. Sometimes, survival lies in more practical targets. This time, the quarry is a zebra. Weighing around 660 pounds, one zebra provides enough energy for the entire pride at a much lower risk. The hunt begins. Their camouflage is an ingenious visual mechanism that scrambles their enemy's perception. When the herd moves as one, the black and white stripes create an optical illusion, making it almost impossible for a predator to single out an individual. But should one be separated, its fate is sealed. The lioness's heart is too small for her body, making her incapable of sustained, long-distance pursuits. Therefore, the hunt must be concluded with haste. A precise bite to the windpipe, and it all ends in silence. Weakness has its own distinct scent, and on the savannah it travels far. The Nile crocodile has scented it. After strenuous activity, the body compels the lion to seek water for cooling. It is also sometimes a comfort for the hunger following a failed hunt. Lions can swim, but they despise the water. Their dense fur becomes a leaden armor, neutralizing all agility. If the Nile crocodile is in the water, the lion stands almost no chance. Not only in the water, but on land too, the giants are beginning to speak up. Even the most serene architects of this vast land refuse to bow to this crown. Their disdain needs no concealment. The young bull elephants are passing through a period of intense hormonal change. Their aggression and self-assurance are absolute. To an elephant, a lion is no worthy adversary. But the great cats are persistent enemies. If they cannot bring down the giant, they will vent their fury on the next generation. The classic target, a fragile link, vulnerable and often separated from the herd. But at close range, a mother elephant's roar can vibrate the chest and disrupt the attacker's nervous system. The lion finds no opening. God could not be everywhere, and therefore he made mothers. Challenged from all sides and humbled by hunger, the new dynasty understands that to reclaim the throne, a coronation of blood is required. And the target will not be the weak. It is the African buffalo, a true mobile fortress. Weighing up to 1,500 pounds, with a horn span of over 3 feet, the buffalo is every predator's nightmare. They are the cause of more serious injuries to lions than any other prey. If a lone lion attacks, its chances of walking away unscathed are only about 20%. But when the whole pride joins the fray, their odds of survival double. The lionesses are the backbone of every battle. This is the moment for the new king to prove his worth. The battle erupts, red dust settling on the giant's form. The scent of fresh blood is not foul, but rich and intense. The throne has been secured. Having reasserted their power, their ambition now turns to greater heights. The ultimate prize appears, the Maasai giraffe, a giant of over 16 feet. A single one of its kicks could shatter a lion's skull. But these hunters understand the harsh laws of nature. The taller they are, the harder they fall. The giraffe's enormous heart, weighing over 24 pounds, must work furiously to pump blood to the brain against gravity, creating immense blood pressure. When pursued, its heart rate soars, pushing its body to its biological limit. And the lions know this. They wait, patiently, until their prey is exhausted. The peace is over. They tear through the thick hide at its softest points. The smell of death spreads, attracting the cleaners of the savannah. The new dynasty has not merely survived, it has achieved absolute dominion. Tsavo is not a chessboard for lions alone. For generations, humans have branded the spotted hyena as a cowardly scavenger, but this is a profound misunderstanding. In truth, they hunt up to 90% of their own food, thanks to a special weapon, limitless endurance. With a heart significantly larger for its body size, the hyena turns every hunt into a marathon of attrition. The savagery is even more apparent when the prey is a zebra. For them, the speed of consumption is a matter of survival. There is no mercy, no last words. The prey is torn apart while it still draws breath. However, on these dusty plains, scarcity sometimes forces the hyena to change its tactics. This is when the other 10% of their scavenging instinct comes to the fore. Their most frequent victim is the cheetah. For the cheetah, justice is a non-existent luxury. To achieve its godlike speed of 70 miles per hour, it has sacrificed all muscular strength and defensive capability. After every chase, the cheetah falls into a state of severe oxygen debt, and the hyenas know this precisely. The cheetah can become prey at any moment. Even with hungry cubs at her side, she cannot risk a confrontation with the bone-crushing jaws of the robber. In the end, the true master of the game is still the lion. Despite a recent decline in performance, very few dare to confront them head-on. This time, however, the lion's ambition extends far beyond its stomach. It sees a threat that must be eliminated, sleeping in the innocent eyes of the hyena cubs in their dark den. Hyena society operates as a strict matriarchy. The males are second-class citizens, nomadic and irresponsible. Thus, the single mothers are forced to leave their dens to hunt for the energy needed to nurse their young. This absence is a death sentence. When the piercing cry of a severed bloodline rings out, the hyena mothers race back in an adrenaline-fueled rage. But confronting two male lions at once is too much, even for a large hyena clan. They have won. But as the hyenas retreat, their gaze is no longer one of simple terror. That look reveals a new truth. The absolute respect for the king is gone. The war in Tsavo will never end. At the age of 3, the young princes of Amboseli face a harsh sentence: exile. This is nature's iron law to keep the bloodline strong, compelling the sons to carry their genes to distant lands. On their arduous journey, these exiles eventually find one another. They stop in Tsavo, a land bordering their mother's homeland, where an old order is about to be overthrown. These young males know exactly who rules this place. They do not rush, but conceal themselves in silence, moving like shadows. The moment finally arrives when they realize they are at their physical peak. while the old monarch is now but a ghost of his past, a scarecrow king defeated by time. Those who once ruled by force must now pay the price with their very throne. In the natural world, cruelty can be an effective survival strategy. By eliminating the offspring of the previous regime, the new kings force the females' bodies to stop producing this hormone, returning them to their reproductive cycle in a matter of weeks. It is how the selfish gene ensures its presence across generations. Soon, new litters are born. The dedicated care of both males and females brings a rare period of peace to Tsavo. The relentless, yet calculated, wheel of nature begins a new cycle. Against this backdrop, the native maneless lions of Tsavo begin to hold their heads high with pride. The fear has vanished with the fall of the old rulers. Though the future remains an uncertain mystery, for this moment at least, the true kings have reclaimed their dignity. For generations, the maneless lion has been, is, and always will be the undying symbol, the very soul of this harsh land of Tsavo. The Great Migration. An immense assembly of over 1 million blue wildebeest, some 300,000 zebra, and 400,000 gazelle. The zebra and the wildebeest are not kin, but they share a sacred commitment to existence. To see the sun for one more day. The wildebeest possesses exceptionally keen senses of hearing and smell. In particular, it can perceive ground vibrations from distant water sources or from the footfalls of other creatures. However, its short, sturdy neck limits its field of vision. This is where the zebra fulfills its purpose. weighing up to 850 pounds and with a visual range of nearly 360 degrees, zebras are the great guardians of this journey. This union creates a remarkable network of defense. Yet, that does not imply a life of peaceful coexistence. It is merely part of a harsh cycle of self-preservation within a larger collective. Under the pressures of the migration, the weak or the very young are easily left behind, becoming targets for predators. But the migration faces more than just terrestrial trials. Their journey must intersect with an ancient force, where the line between life and death is as fragile as the water's surface. When the boundary between land and river dissolves, all displays of power lose their meaning. There, by the seemingly tranquil riverbanks, a master of patience awaits. For 200 million years, it has lurked beneath the muddy waters of the Mara River. This is the Nile crocodile, the most formidable, defiant, and perfect reptile that creation has ever conceived. A sheltered hunting machine weighing up to 2,200 pounds and measuring up to 20 feet in length. The secret to its hunting success lies in its subtlety. With skin that blends perfectly into the riverbed, the Nile crocodile resembles an ancient, gently floating log. Leaving the deadly river behind, the savannah greets the survivors with yet another challenge. On this land, there are creatures whose power comes not from concealment, but from an unstoppable collective force. The African buffalo. Weighing up to 2,000 pounds, they are living tanks, protected by thick hide and a solid shield of bone upon their brows. Within Africa's legendary Big Five, the buffalo can sometimes command more reverence than the lion. Confrontations between two adult bulls are a ritual of physical prowess, a dance of primal violence. With speeds reaching 30 miles per hour, the force of impact is immense. Nearly a ton of solid muscle is concentrated at the point of collision, right between the eyes. There, the bases of the two horns fuse into a dense, bony shield, forming a natural coat of armor. This structure is hard enough to absorb and disperse tremendous impacts, and it only fully matures when a bull reaches about 8 or 9 years of age. In Zulu culture, the buffalo is a symbol of indomitable will. Its nature of facing danger without retreat inspired the military tactics of King Shaka Zulu. Elite units were likened to the unstoppable force of this animal. That warrior spirit is also embodied in the powerful Indlamu war dance. The Zulu also crafted buffalo horns into ornaments and weapons, believing the animal's strength would be transferred to the bearer. When gathered in large herds, African buffalo become a mobile fortress, an almost perfect defense. Few predators on the savannah, not even lions, are willing to challenge a full herd of adult buffalo. The majesty of this black giant is often accompanied by an explosive energy waiting to be unleashed. With just a subtle signal that composure can transform into a destructive offensive force. However, everything changes when an individual is separated from the protection of the herd. An adult buffalo can weigh about 5 times as much as a lioness, and in theory, a single head-on charge would be enough to end the confrontation. But the lion pride knows this, so they rely on tactics instead of brute force. The lion is a rare social predator among felines, and most hunts are coordinated by the females of the pride. The pride silently surrounds its quarry, isolating the buffalo from its herd and latching onto its thick hide, turning the hunt into a battle of endurance. With powerful jaws and curved claws, they attempt to restrain the struggling giant. But African buffalo are renowned for their solidarity. When one individual is in danger, the entire herd may turn back to mount a rescue. Faced with the pressure of converging masses of black muscle, the queens of the hunt are forced to retreat. But there is still one young male lion who has not given up. To become a king of the plains, a male lion must prove his strength and his courage. These encounters with Cape buffalo are the most grueling of tests. It is these perilous battles that will forge the future rulers of the savannah. Even when the buffalo herds have defeated their challengers, the savannah holds a greater power still. A creature that reigns almost absolutely at the apex of the hierarchy of strength. It needs no support from a herd to assert its status. Its presence alone is enough to make the ground tremble. The African elephant. The African elephant is a masterpiece of biology, weighing up to 13,200 pounds and standing nearly 13 feet tall as an adult. Once fully grown, they have almost no natural enemies. Before such a giant, even the lion, the savannah's most feared predator, must keep its distance. The elephant's security comes not from speed or aggression, but from its immense size and overwhelming power. A single footstep can exert a pressure equivalent to a heavy armored vehicle rolling across the earth. But the elephant's strength is not just in its size. Its trunk is one of the most complex biological tools in the animal world. With over 40,000 individual muscle bundles, the trunk can uproot trees, lift heavy objects, or become a formidable weapon when necessary. The authority of the African elephant stems from tons of power combined with an intelligence rarely seen in the natural world. For many years, It was told that African elephants could become intoxicated from eating fermented marula fruit. However, studies have shown this is almost impossible in the wild. For an elephant to reach a state of inebriation, it would have to consume an enormous quantity of fermented fruit, and its digestive system processes food very quickly. Thus, the story of the drunken marula elephant is now considered more of a popular anecdote than a truly documented behavior in nature. The African elephant is a creature of powerful emotions. They can experience joy, attachment, and even sorrow. But when a multi-ton being loses its composure, the consequences for its surroundings can be unpredictable. Besides the elephant, another giant walks the African savanna with almost no fear. The rhinoceros. Its eyesight is poor, nearly useless at a distance, but that deficit is compensated by astonishing power. An adult rhinoceros can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. Its massive body is encased in armor-like hide, and on its snout is a sharp horn that can become a dangerous weapon. The rhinoceros is often solitary and exists in a state of high alert. Unable to see clearly from afar, it relies more on its senses of smell and hearing. A strange scent or an unusual sound is enough to provoke an immediate reaction from this giant. When uncertain of the threat before it, the rhinoceros's instinct is simple: charge directly at it. During the breeding season, tensions escalate. Adult males will often drive away a female's calf to encourage her to return to her reproductive cycle sooner. When two adult rhinos dispute territory, the confrontation can last for hours. Their horns, made of keratin, the same material as human fingernails, become deadly weapons. In fact, battles between adult males account for nearly half of all natural mortalities for this species. However, the greatest threat to the rhinoceros comes not from its own kind, but from humans. Poaching for their horns, so-called white gold, despite having no real medicinal value, has pushed this species to the brink of extinction. Today, local communities and rangers patrol day and night, even dehorning the animals to protect the last hope of survival for these giants of the savannah. Not all giants rely on armor or muscular strength for confrontation. Some rise above in a completely different manner. The giraffe, with the body of a horse and a neck up to 6.5 feet long, is a testament to this. This creature possesses a 24-pound heart, which generates a blood pressure double that of a human. Yet, its neck contains precisely 7 cervical vertebrae, the same number found in people. Each vertebra is over 10 inches long. Beyond aiding in feeding, these necks can become high-impact instruments in a ritualized contest known as necking during the mating season. The small protrusions on their heads, called ossicones, are actually hard, skin-covered bone structures. When a physical confrontation occurs, the resulting sound can be heard from hundreds of feet away. It is a motion with enough force to break ribs, damage internal organs, or even knock an opponent unconscious instantly. This confrontation is like a slow yet decisive dance with destiny. An outmatched African giraffe can suffer a broken neck and fall to the ground like a collapsing tower. However, the neck is not its only form of defense. The lions of the Ethiopia region, in their search for food, understand this better than anyone. And creation always finds a way to exhibit admirable contrasts. Along the tranquil rivers of Africa exists one of nature's greatest illusions. The hippopotamus's yawn. This act of opening its jaws to 150 degrees is no sign of rest or laziness. This is the most aggressive mammal on the planet. The lower canine teeth of a hippopotamus can grow up to 24 inches long. Thanks to a self-sharpening mechanism, with every movement, they remain as keen as blades. These impressive teeth serve only one purpose: to confront enemies. Only the strongest individuals are permitted to rule this sacred marshland. The hippo's loyalty to its territory is as fierce as an absolute creed. The one about to cross its path is a waterbuck, an antelope with a water-repellent coat that always lives near water sources. For the waterbuck, the water is a safe refuge from terrestrial predators. But the resident hippo does not share that view. The consequence of defying the rules of the marsh is to have one's life ended by the planet's most aggressive landlord. In this land, still waters are never a sign of absolute peace. When the great warriors have ended their journeys, the keepers of nature's harmony draw near. At the moment when life transforms to provide sustenance, there is always one who does not understand the meaning of waiting its turn. But when great wings descend from the sky, the rules of nature change instantly. The lappet-faced vulture is the great guardian of the savanna's provisions. With a wingspan of nearly 10 feet, it is the largest and most powerful of Africa's cleanup crew. This giant possesses a natural gift that no other species has. Its beak is incredibly strong, deep, and sharp. It is the tool that creation bestowed upon the pathfinders. Only they have the strength to tear through the toughest hides of the African elephant, the Cape buffalo, or the rhinoceros. Thus, they often take pride of place, enjoying the main portion of the meal and leaving the rest for their counterparts. The smaller species depend on its strength, while it relies on the presence of the smaller ones to locate food more quickly. It is a collaboration born from the necessities of life. When this bird becomes more animated or prepares for a contest over food, blood rushes to the skin on its face. This color change helps the bird regulate its body temperature during times of exertion, while also sending a clear, natural signal to any who might think of standing in its way. Without a single sudden movement, the vibrant color of its resolve has done 90% of the work in establishing respect. After the confrontations of tusk and horn play out under the open sun, the African continent still conceals other giants. They live in more secluded places, higher and more humid. There, the stage of existence might be cloud-covered peaks, swift-flowing rivers where razor-sharp teeth await, or beneath the dense forest canopy. In those places, the giants possess unique survival strategies and natural tools perfected through fierce confrontations. Over 9,800 feet above sea level, the Virunga mountain range lies between Rwanda, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. In this kingdom of mist, with its thin, cold air, there lives a king with no throne, but with silver shoulders that can carry his entire lineage. The mountain gorilla shares about 98% of its DNA with humans. Its digestive system is a colossal cellulose processing machine, turning simple leaves into rippling masses of muscle. Their social structure revolves around an absolute hierarchy. A silverback is the father, the leader, and the sole protector of his family. A wise silverback will observe the frequency of these sounds and decide whether it is worth expending the energy for a physical confrontation. But when the language of sound is not enough, physical power will speak. The gorilla uses its full weight for positioning and employs its jaws, with a bite stronger than a lion's or a tiger's, to leave a deep impression of its presence. Their most formidable tools are canine teeth up to 2 inches long. A powerful bite to the shoulder or neck could end the life of any rival in a moment. The mountain gorilla is an admirable example of the balance between immense power and gentleness. They are gentle giants until the boundaries of mutual respect are crossed. But far from the cool mountain peaks, in the lower regions, there is a creature with an appearance as brilliant as a work of art, but with a fierce disposition. A primate that even a leopard must think twice before approaching. The mandrill is a creature that defies the usual standards of evolutionary history. It possesses a brilliantly colored appearance, yet it is also the largest primate of its kind in the world, with one of the most volatile temperaments in nature. The more vivid a male mandrill's reds and blues, the more intense a life force it displays. In other words, its face is a tangible testament to the strength and vitality that life has bestowed. An adult male mandrill can weigh 77 pounds or more, but its true power lies in its large troops, true legions on the move. They can gather in enormous groups of up to 600 or even 1,000 individuals. No snake, small rodent, or other primate group is brave enough to stand in their way. This is the procession of a very well-organized group, under the leadership of the king with the most brilliant face. The savannah quietly recedes as darkness descends. The giants withdraw into the night, leaving behind the mark of an indomitable will to survive, etched in scars and fierce confrontations. Across the sun-scorched plains of the Serengeti, life is an epic composed of courage and sacrifice. Here, lions reign as the undisputed masters of the vast savanna. The lion is the only feline to forge a truly complex social structure. A pride is a formidable fortress built upon the bedrock of kinship and mutual protection. The male lion stands as the embodiment of absolute power and regal authority. He wears a dense mane, a biological shield designed to protect his throat. His role is to safeguard the frontiers of his kingdom. His roar, audible for 5 miles, is a thunderous warning to any intruder who dares challenge his lineage. Yet the soul and predatory heart of the pride reside within the females. They are an elite force, bound by seamless coordination to create the most effective hunting network on the plains. The huntresses begin their strategic deployment. They never act alone, communicating through subtle glances and silent movements amidst the parched grass. Their target is a Cape buffalo. But across these immense grasslands, survival also depends upon a different weapon: extreme velocity. Observe this slender creature concealed within the golden stalks. This is the cheetah, the swiftest animal on our planet, a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Its frame is a structure perfected for the pursuit of ultimate speed. With a lightweight skeleton and a spine as flexible as a steel spring, it is designed to tear through space. In a mere 3 seconds, the cheetah can reach speeds exceeding 62 miles per hour. An intense acceleration that far outclasses even our most advanced modern supercars. The long, muscular tail serves as a biological rudder. It allows the cat to execute sharp maneuvers at high speed while maintaining absolute equilibrium. Distinct black tear marks help absorb the harsh glare of the African sun. This specialized adaptation focuses its vision on targets more than half a mile away. Now, a target appears. A solitary impala has let down its guard. This is the moment the killer instinct awakens in a macabre dance of death. The cheetah lowers its center of gravity, gliding like a specter through the thorn bushes. Every footfall is a calculated step, narrowing the gap for the final explosion. High above, the stillness of the forest is suddenly shattered. Immense wings churn the air, a heavy rhythm asserting the dominance of the hornbill, the sovereign of Borneo's skies. This island is a sanctuary for 8 distinct species of hornbill. But most striking is the rhinoceros hornbill, a living icon of the island. Its hollow casque acts as a resonance chamber, amplifying calls that carry for miles to mark territorial boundaries. Their lives are inextricably linked to ancient, towering trees. The continuity of their lineage depends entirely upon these hollow trunks. During the breeding season, the female seals herself within, using mud to wall off the nest entrance. She remains there for weeks, molting and nurturing new life in total seclusion. The weight of the world now rests solely upon the male's shoulders. The survival of the entire family depends on his loyalty and endurance. By consuming large fruits that smaller birds cannot, hornbills carry seeds across vast distances. Their flights initiate a continuous process of rebirth, redrawing the map of the forest. They are the great sours of the wilderness. Among these branches, we also find the Bornean orangutan, the titan guarding the soul of Southeast Asian jungles. Weighing nearly 200 pounds, they are the largest arboreal animals on our planet. Mature males possess large cheek pads, which help project their territorial calls across several miles. With an arm span reaching 6.5 feet, these steel-like levers allow them to make impossible reaches across dangerous voids. To move such a massive frame requires immense energy. Intelligence is their ultimate tool. An orangutan's brain holds a complex cognitive map of hundreds of fruit trees in three-dimensional space. More importantly, it masters the growth cycles of every individual species. When the dry season turns the forest into a hungry green desert, the orangutan knows exactly which tree will bear fruit tomorrow. After 8 months of gestation, the female begins an uninterrupted 7-year commitment. This is the longest weaning and nursing period of any mammal, surpassed only by humans. It is a rigorous course in survival, where every secret of the jungle is meticulously passed to the next generation. The canopy is a safe fortress, but sometimes hunger forces them to do the unthinkable. Descending to the forest floor is a step into extreme risk. Their bodies are not built for the ground, turning the king of the trees into a sluggish exile. In the shadows of the dense undergrowth, the forest's top predators are waiting. In the lower strata of the canopy, where light is swallowed by shadow, a ghost awakens. This is the realm of the sunder-clouded leopard, a mystery of the Bornean wilds. It is often regarded as a modern incarnation of the ancient saber-toothed cats. It possesses canines over 2 inches long, the largest relative to body size in the feline family. Where the forest meets the river, life flourishes in a different fashion. The proboscis monkey is an extraordinary species found nowhere else but Borneo. They make their homes along the riverbanks, where dense vegetation provides a natural stronghold. In their society, the larger the nose, the higher the status. The nose serves as a resonance chamber, amplifying calls to warn rivals and entice mates. To survive on nutrient-poor mangrove leaves, they have evolved a complex, multi-chambered stomach similar to ruminants. Billions of symbiotic bacteria work tirelessly to break down cellulose and neutralize plant toxins. This adaptation allows them to exploit a food source that other competitors must ignore. However, life by the water is fraught with constant peril. When food becomes scarce, they must make a daring choice. Just beneath the silt of Borneo's rivers, the saltwater crocodile waits with infinite patience. Reaching lengths that can exceed 20 feet, this is the largest living reptile, the supreme monarch of brackish waters. Its rugged hide provides perfect camouflage, rendering it invisible until the very last moment. Thousands of sensitive pressure receptors on its jaw act as a radar system, detecting vibrations from dozens of yards away. Its bite exerts a force of 3,700 pounds per square inch, the most powerful in the animal kingdom. In Borneo, a single moment of inattention can cost one's life. Yet in this unforgiving realm, there are giants that know no fear. Emerging from the mist, the Bornean elephant appears in all its majesty. Their true strength lies not in their tusks, nor their trunks containing 40,000 muscles. That strength is found in unity and collective wisdom. The herd is led by the oldest and most sagacious female. Her brain is a living library, retaining maps of every water source and meadow for the past 60 years. When a calf goes astray, the matriarch emits infrasonic signals below 20 Hz. This sound travels through the ground for miles to summon the members. A defensive formation is immediately activated. A natural strategy, where the family is the beginning and the end of all protection. This is the eternal truth of Borneo's ancient forest, where harshness and compassion weave the symphony of existence. Further down, where fierce rivers carve into the mountain foothills, the face of the forest begins to shift. One must never mistake the gentleness of a herbivore for weakness. The sambar deer is the largest deer in Southeast Asia and one of the island's most robust land mammals. With a weight that can reach 550 pounds, its body is a mass of muscle and steel-like sinew. Sambar are highly selective browsers. They seek out only the most nutrient-rich young leaves, shoots, and fallen fruits. This premium fuel is converted directly into muscular power and tools of authority. But the stature of a giant is also a burden. In the eyes of predators, a sambar is a massive, mobile reservoir of protein. Consequently, they have developed a sixth sense, profound suspicion. Large ears rotate constantly like radar to detect the slightest hint of danger. Quiet strength combined with hypervigilance has made the sambar a symbol of resilience. Following in the tracks of giants is the sun bear. Though the smallest bear on Earth, this 5-foot creature possesses an ego larger than any other forest inhabitant. Nature has equipped it with a perfect toolkit. Its claws are specialized for climbing and tearing through wood. Its tongue can extend 10 inches, a record among all bear species. Loose skin around the neck acts as biological armor, allowing it to ignore the stings of 1,000 bees. This fearless temperament creates a perimeter of respect that gives even the most formidable predators pause. As night falls, the forest's pocket-sized hunters finally awaken. This is the tarsier, a primate measuring barely 4 inches in length. Immense eyes, larger than its own brain, are designed to capture every stray photon of light. Because they are so large, these eyes are fixed within the skull. To compensate, nature granted the tarsier a miraculous neck that can rotate nearly 270 degrees. The tarsier is the only primate in the world that is entirely carnivorous. Its existence depends on fresh protein from insects and small reptiles. The secret is in the hind legs, which feature unusually long tarsal bones. In an instant, it can launch itself 40 times its own body length. They communicate via ultrasound at 91 kilohertz, well beyond the hearing of predators like owls or snakes. The survival of this ancient lineage is bound to the health of the primary forest. Further north, a shadow battalion seizes control of the night sky. These are the flying foxes, the inverted monarchs of the High Kingdom. This is the largest fruit bat on Earth, with a leathery wingspan of 5 feet. In reality, their wings are hands with elongated fingers, connected by a thin membrane called the patagium. Unlike their smaller echolocating cousins, flying foxes rely on keen eyes and a sharp nose to detect ripening fruit from afar. On their nightly foraging expeditions, some wings must carry a double burden. A pup must cling tightly to its mother with feet and claws, becoming an inseparable part of her aerial acrobatics. Though many fear their appearance, the flying fox is a keystone species for this ecosystem. As they fly, tons of seeds are dispersed throughout the forest. They are the most industrious planters, reconnecting isolated fragments of green. When the sun sets, the ancient forest does not sleep. It merely shifts its cadence. The Sunda pangolin is the only mammal on Earth to trade warm fur for a suit of cold armor. Over 900 keratin scales overlap to create an impregnable shield. When threatened, it curls into a dense, armored sphere. Tragically, this very perfection has become the cause of its downfall. Humans have turned this proud armor into baseless traditional medicines, pushing the Sunda pangolin toward extinction. In the battle against greed, Borneo's best protected creature is failing to survive. The green peafowl, or Indonesian peacock, is a rare bird of regal splendor. Males can grow to 7 feet in length, adorned with metallic green plumage and a train featuring eye-like patterns. The breeding season coincides with the rains, when males display their fans in complex dances to attract mates. However, the green peafowl is critically threatened by habitat loss and illegal hunting. Deep within the tropical forests of Java, the dhole exists silently like a crimson spectre. The result of millions of years of evolution, it has become one of Southeast Asia's most effective pack hunters. Dholes hunt in packs of 5 to 12, coordinating through long whistles that echo through the forest. Yet, the dhole is classified as endangered, with only about 2,500 to 3,000 individuals remaining. Sumatra is a cradle of biodiversity, where many endemic species struggle to survive in the forest's shadow. Amidst the dense foliage, the silence is broken by the silent footfalls of the Sumatran tiger. It is the last remaining tiger subspecies in Indonesia and the smallest of all tigers. Its modest size is not a weakness, but a sophisticated adaptation to the dense jungle. A compact, agile body allows it to weave through tangled vines and narrow trails where prey least expects it. Its vivid orange coat with thick, bold black stripes allows it to dissolve into the forest's dappled light. These patterns are more than mere markings. They are perfect camouflage that shatters its silhouette. In this world of shadow and patience, it is a master of concealment, the ghost of the Sumatran forest. But that authority is now more fragile than ever. As the forest is fragmented by roads and plantations, its territory continues to shrink. With only a few hundred left in the wild, every step of the Sumatran tiger is more than a hunt. It is a silent battle for the survival of an entire wilderness legacy. Hidden within Sumatra's thickest foliage, a phantom from prehistoric times still endures. This is the Sumatran rhinoceros, the smallest and most ancient rhino species on Earth. It is the closest living relative to the woolly rhinoceros, a relic of an ice age that ended millennia ago. With its thin coat of hair and two small horns, it carries the imprint of a world long gone. But this echo from the past is slowly fading away. Today, this solitary and shy creature exists only in Sumatra and a small pocket of Borneo. With fewer than 80 individuals left in the wild, it stands on the precipice of extinction, listed as critically endangered. Habitat loss and relentless poaching are the primary threats driving this ancient animal to its absolute limit. Each footstep in the quiet forest is a fragile reminder of a heritage we are at risk of losing forever. At the very peak of the Sumatran canopy, a solitary figure moves with quiet grace. This is the Sumatran orangutan, known in the local tongue as the person of the forest. A sage of the high branches. A master of the heights, it rarely descends to the damp ground where danger constantly lurks. Arms, far stronger than legs, are the perfect tools for traversing the gaps between the trees. Every movement is intentional, slow, and deeply calculated. Its brain maintains a detailed map of the forest, recalling the location and ripening time of every fruit tree. Yet its greatest legacy is passed down through an unbreakable maternal bond. For nearly a decade, the young will learn everything from their mother, from building a nightly nest to identifying hundreds of edible plants. It is one of the longest and most complex learning periods in the entire animal kingdom. However, millions of years of wisdom cannot withstand a single modern force. Beneath their high paradise, the roar of chainsaws is growing louder. The forest is vanishing at an alarming and unprecedented rate. With only about 13,000 remaining, each individual is a precious gem, a flickering hope for Asia's only great ape. Yet beyond the hunts and the struggles, what remains is the profound fragility of existence. When habitats shrink and populations are counted only in the dozens or hundreds. Every living soul becomes a living legacy of millions of years of evolution. Every step is not just a search for food, but a silent war against disappearance. Life here requires no myth to achieve greatness. Its value is found in its persistence, its intelligence, and its capacity to adapt. And the future of that legacy no longer rests on instinct, but on the choices made by humanity. Leaving the sun-drenched savannas of Tsavo, our journey continues south to where the surging Zambezi River prepares to create one of the most spectacular sights on the planet. This is Victoria Falls, known also as Mosi Oa Tunya, a magnificent wonder located on the natural border between the nations of Zambia and Zimbabwe. Here, the water plunges from an average height of 350 feet, forming a curtain of white that stretches for an immense 5,600 feet. More than a mere geographical boundary, this place is a grand and ceaseless theater of nature's power. Especially during the rainy season, when the Zambezi reaches its greatest annual flow, the entire area awakens with a tremendous energy. Columns of dense mist rise under the sun, forming a fine white smoke that billows into the air. Accompanying this sight is a sound as resonant as the roar of 1,000 lions, a testament to its proud name, the smoke that thunders. To conserve this treasure, 2 reserves have been established. Mosi Oa Tunya National Park on the Zambian side, and Victoria Falls National Park, which embraces the southern and eastern banks of the river in northwestern Zimbabwe. These two parks are like twin brothers, sharing the sacred mission of sheltering and protecting the life that surrounds this great waterfall. Sharing the swollen Zambezi in the rainy season is the hippopotamus, which harnesses the water's power to maintain its characteristic semi-aquatic lifestyle. As one of the oldest surviving mammal species, with ancestors appearing over 55 million years ago, the hippopotamus shares a close evolutionary relationship with whales. At Mosi Oatunya, the local hippopotamus population numbers around 1,500, demonstrating impressive stability and adaptability. As night falls, they emerge from the river and move silently towards the flooded grasslands along the Zambezi. Each night, an adult can consume between 80 and 150 pounds of grass to sustain its massive body. During the breeding season, their herd behavior becomes more pronounced, with a structure consisting of a dominant male, multiple females, and young following their mothers. Ranging from 10 to 16.1 feet in length and weighing between 3,000 and 4,000 pounds, the hippopotamus is one of the largest land animals in the world. Their jaws can generate a biting force of up to 2,000 pounds, force which, combined with canine teeth about 20 inches long, forms an extremely effective weapon. Their thick skin is always coated in blood sweat, a natural, pink-hued oil that provides sun protection and antibacterial properties. Moving from the water to the Zambian grasslands, the Angolan giraffe is taking advantage of the lush, rainy season vegetation to meet its enormous nutritional needs. To sustain themselves, each individual diligently consumes 50 to 75 pounds of leaves per day, aided by a long, flexible tongue that wraps around thorny branches to pull off leaves with ease. Sharing a common ancestor with other African giraffe species from over 1 million years ago, they evolved their tall bodies and characteristic long necks to reach canopies inaccessible to other species. At Mosi Oatunya, they are often seen moving through the interspersed grasslands and woodlands along the Zambezi River. Under the brilliant sun, herds of Burchell's zebra also move quietly across the green fields. This species originates from Africa, where its ancestors adapted and evolved over millions of years to possess their distinctive black and white stripes. These stripes not only repel blood-sucking flies in the tropical climate, but also serve as a unique fingerprint, allowing for individual recognition within large groups. They live in herds composed of a led stallion, several mares, and their young. During the rainy season, smaller groups merge into larger aggregations to enhance their safety from predators. Life bursts forth from every inch of the grassland, with the appearance of the sable antelope a majestic symbol of wild nature. With its scimitar-like curved horns and glossy black coat, this antelope from the Hippotragus genus has an evolutionary history stretching back 2 to 5 million years. They live in herds of 10 to 30 members on the edges of woodlands. Their horns are not only for defense, but also help to clear low-hanging branches, paving a path through dense vegetation. Meanwhile, on the steep cliffs and gorges near the waterfall, the klipspringer, a member of the Bovidae family, leaps nimbly across rocky surfaces. In Afrikaans, their name means rock jumper, reflecting the unique movement style of this antelope, whose ancestors date back millions of years. This name perfectly describes their ability to use small, sharp, and sturdy hooves to maintain perfect balance on ledges barely a few centimeters wide. With a small yet resilient frame, their grayish-yellow coat provides perfect camouflage, helping them to evade terrestrial predators. Crossing to the southern bank in Zimbabwe, the southern white rhinoceros chooses to live in the open fields and sparse woodlands near the Zambezi River. The river itself creates natural mud wallows where the rhinos submerge themselves to cool down and ward off insects. The population here is estimated at 20 to 30 individuals, maintained at a stable level through strict conservation efforts. As specialized grazers, they spend most of their day with their heads bowed, cropping grass with their wide mouths. This is also the homeland of the African buffalo, with large herds of up to several hundred individuals moving together along the river in search of water and food. A cohesive social structure and solidarity among members are crucial for survival. When threatened, they form a tight defensive circle to ensure their survival. The buffalo possesses a powerful body and a thick, dark brown coat, like a sturdy suit of armor protecting it from the harshness of nature. Notably, its curved horns merge at the center to form a formidable boss, making it one of the most powerful and feared mammals on the vast savanna. In the darkness, the leopard operates like a stealthy phantom. Its golden coat with black rosettes provides perfect camouflage. Sharp eyes allow it to see clearly in low light and move without a sound. Weighing between 66 and 176 pounds, it possesses astonishing strength for its body, which is 4.3 to 6.2 feet long. A long tail, up to 3.6 feet, helps it maintain excellent balance on steep terrain. The leopard is incredibly patient when stalking, before launching a decisive pounce at 36 miles per hour, capable of leaping 10 to 20 feet high. After a successful hunt, it hauls its prey into the high branches of ancient trees along the river to keep it safe from lions, hyenas, and other scavengers. Finally, there is the roan antelope, one of Africa's largest and rarest antelopes, which finds sanctuary here. Standing up to 5 feet tall and weighing up to 660 pounds, they are impressive with their reddish-brown coat and distinctive black and white facial markings that provide natural camouflage. Their curved horns, up to 40 inches long, are both an effective defensive weapon and a symbol of status within the herd. They live in small herds led by a dominant bull who maintains order and protects the group from threats. When danger appears, the entire herd becomes instantly alert, ready to stand and fight together rather than fleeing alone. As the sunset dyes the thundering smoke of Mosi Oa Tunya red, another chapter of survival closes in tranquility. The Zambezi continues to flow, carrying with it ancient genetic codes and new hopes. Here, death is not an end, but a transfer of life force between the land and the water. All blend into the eternal symphony of creation. A world of brutality, yet one that holds the purest beauty of nature. Where every breath is a miracle.